Hi there, welcome to a live Call to Cinema podcast. We are going to do some neat stuff here today. Congratulations, George, on getting that um, incredible, amazing French Connection set before it went out of print, or at least out of stock, because everybody's been trying to get that right now, and it's really hard to pick up. I was telling a story over on my Instagram. So if you're not following me on Instagram, it is Charm. What is my Instagram? Uh, Charm007. And if you're not following me over on Twitch, which not Twitch, well, please follow me on Twitch. I only have like 17 followers, and but follow me on TikTok as well, because there I'm eventually going to be doing some lives. I was telling a story, and I'll finish it. I'll start it and I'll finish it. So I was asked about up here, up way up, as Friendly Giant would say. There are some Disney tins. And I'm a huge Disney fanatic. So what it is, that's the Disney treasure tins. And if you're looking around the stores nowadays, you're seeing that right now the Disney anniversary is up, and they're putting out a lot of new Blu-rays and stuff, and kind of to look similar to the tins that are up there. I can bring one down to show you afterwards, actually. But what happened is we were in Ottawa. We were visiting. We were going to a convention there. We got to see like Kane Hodder and Bruce Campbell and a bunch of other people. Robert Englund was amazing there. Anyway, but I digress. The thing was that we went to this store, went to a comic book shop that I used to go frequent all the time. And right next to it now, there was a manga shop, so we went in there, and right in the back, there were some films, there were movies. So we went there, and I saw I think it was Mickey Black and White, volume 1 or 2, and Donald, volume 1. So they were nice. They're a little bit pricey-ish, but we picked them both up. We said, okay, this is something that we really want to have. We were unaware at that point how many exactly there were. So we went around to other places looking for them. We found one at another shop, and it was a Pluto one, I think. And we even tried to order one online, but we ordered it from Amazon.co.uk. And what we got was not a tin, but was like just in a normal plastic case. That was not going to do. So we eventually went out and collected every single Disney Treasures tin that's out there. So we have them all. I can eventually, if you want me to, I can do I can reshow them. I did it a long time ago, but I can do a better one. Hey there, Justin. And we'll reshow the things that are on there. So what we're doing today is we're going to break up into a lot of different things. 88 Films have improved their website. They actually reached out to the fans and said, hey, what can we do to make our website more accessible? What can we do to make it better? A lot of things were bandied about from fans of people on Facebook and that. And I really love when a company does that, because it shows me that, okay, the company is listening. They want feedback. Tintin, yeah. I'm a huge Tintin fan. This whole thing fell out on me after my video. That's why they're all different now. I took the time this time to try and make them a bit more organized. So when you look back here, I got my Tintin. There's my Looney Tunes. There's my Thundercats. I'm a huge Thundercats fan. G.I. Joe, Transformers there. My Robotech. Grew up with Robotech. Gem, which my sister grew up with, which I actually used to watch with her. Cops, Reboot, the first digitally animated series. Avatar, of course, and Legend of Korra. These are actually unopened because I've already watched the shows, but I want to rewatch them again. Captain Power, I remember that when I was a kid. And, stuff like Rocket Robin Hood, which probably only if you're my age or you're from Canada, you're going to remember. And I got a couple of these, but here's one right here. This is a Voltron tin. But I'll go over a little bit more of that in a little bit later if you want to do that as a segment here. But I wanted to look at that. I wanted to mention we talked about the censorship thing, and I stand by that. I don't think that art is something that should be censored. And it's the companies that do it, obviously, of course, that's their right. If you own something, you have the right to do with it what you will. But I think the onus is still on you to hopefully keep something in its original format and not let the a version of it get lost in time. If you're a horror movie fan, you know all about that. Hey there, Dag, welcome, man. Because if you are a horror movie fan, if you're a slasher fan, specifically if you're a slasher fan, then you know the pain of movies like Friday 13th Part 7, for instance, that were cut drastically, tremendously. And now those versions are lost to time. And these are movies that were done back in the late 80s. They weren't like done like 80 years ago. It wasn't like the era of the silent film. You're a Doctor Who fan. BBC erased a lot of the tapes. Just a whole bunch sections of Doctor Who just doesn't exist anymore. And that's the way I feel about like if you are going to say, if you're going to make the concentrated thought, hither ever, an effort to just say, okay, I'm going to take something out of this film, or I'm going to cut this film. If I'm going to take out, I don't know, hand shooting first. Then you also should have the onus, in my opinion, this is my opinion, to make the effort to just get out there and ensure that the original copy is unaltered. And that's easy to do. I had somebody mention on here that they had a film reels of French Connection, and that they're hoping that like when they get them from Disney that they're not going to be cut. So that's the thing that you had to be concerned about. Also, who episodes got lost to time? That is so true. Kino Lorber bringing a Tintin double feature. I know, I want that so bad. You did not his live action. Yeah, Tintin was really big over in like. Well, Tintin is not French, but has Hercule Poirot. You know, it's, but those are French films. Those are French films that were done a long time ago. And with that being said, let's dive into the different aspects of this, but let's dive into 88 Films first. 88 Films, as you can see right there, international on-track shipping, now free on orders over 35 pounds. So previously, this was sort of a thing, but the let it go because some people ended up like losing their losing orders. And if it's untracked, you know, that's on you, my friends, because you know it's on track. That's what it is. But hopefully, you know, that's something that's kind of few and far between. I'm trying to open up my thing here so I can actually see our messages, but my YouTube is being a bit of a bitch. That's why I get to see the cartoon in the late 90s, early 2000s here in Canada because you're Tintin. Tintin was big in Canada. Tintin was huge. So when I was growing up, Tintin was huge in Canada because of like of the books. So let me do that. Let me actually show you what I mean. Let me go back to that. So for those that don't know, Tintin was a character created by Hergé, and there were sets were put out like of these here, but every one of them had like softcover and hardcover books. You'd find them in your local library here in Canada, and it was for some places when I lived in a small fishing community. There was no like there wasn't many places to buy comics or shops or anything like that. So Tintin was literally our way to read comic books. So this here is like French and English, but this is a French version of the sets here. You can see Destination Moon or Objective Lune, and it looks like they're done to look like the actual covers of the book. So if you've ever read the books, then you're gonna recognize these covers right here because these are the right on the back. What they're showing here are the exact covers of the Tintin books, and that really blows my mind. Like each one has this one kind of freaked me out because this is the island one, and it was kind of like science fiction-y because there was a meteor that landed near the island, and it caused like creatures like this spider to go to giant size. And when I was a kid, I was reading in the comic book as an arachnophobe, it kind of freaked me out. So Seven Crystal Balls, Temple of the Sun, really, really good ones. And see, it's gone really big right there. But they did it in two collections, blue and a red. And if you put them together, they come up like this. Rest in peace, I guess, right? For now, at least. And this is the red edition right here. And through them all, I'm pretty much sure I got them all. We got Crap Golden Cloud, which was the Titan in Tibet. I think Crap Golden Cloud was the first appearance of Captain Haddock. It is not lost on me that I look like the love child of Tintin and Captain Haddock. That is, that irony is not lost on me, by the way, guys. Cigars of the Pharaoh was really good. I think the only one that wasn't like adapted, like for was the latter one, like Tintin in America and the Alpha art, which wasn't completed. It was completed by somebody else. Here's I only did a portion of it. But there you go. Those right there are films that could eventually, get the snip, because it's not only feature films that can get censored. It's TV, it's music. I'm a huge Tintin fan, George. This like literally like when there were no comics for me to read, this was in my local library about this, about the books from my local library to read. So I read Tintin, I read Asterix, which I'm guess probably big over your way too, and I get it for Asterix movies, but mostly live action stuff. Though I do have a reel, like I got some 8mm film reels, and I got an Asterix cartoon, so that's kind of cool because I do collect 8mm film as well. I collect a lot of things, guys, and that's why it's so important to me, and why I think it's so imperative that at this point in time, when things are becoming, when more niche things are becoming readily available through boutique labels, it's more important than ever that you say, okay, I want this, because it's not coming to your local Walmart. It's not like space at a Walmart, at a Best Buy, at like you're gonna notice there's less physical space for physical media, right? The reason for that is it costs costs money. You have to do. I used to work in in Future Shop. Worked in Walmart. Worked in sellers when I was around. So anything that's on that floor, and when you go into like a shop, there's like a ratio, like basically a cost analysis ratio on like, okay, what could be best put in this area of the store to maximize kind of profit. Physical media is good, but if they can put like TVs or video games or something in that space, or something that's going to generate more profit, then they can move physical media to online, and that's a lot of what's happened right now, because some bigger people look into like don't go into a store and don't see so much physical media. They assume that physical media isn't selling as well or whatever, but that's just not the case. It's actually selling extremely well right now, but it's also come to a point where things can be cut from films. So I am glad, for instance, that I have my, speaking of Disney, my Sleeping Beauty on Blu-ray that I got, that are Crystal Labyrinth on 4K too, by the way, these two. And even like smaller things. And this is when you really get into the big stuff. Smaller things. I think this is what really can get lost to time. This is Sonic Boom. It's a relatively new series. It was put out in conjunction between Mill Creek and End Circle Entertainment. But Kino Lorber, God, there's so many Kino Lorber Blu-rays. I got a few here in my collection, but the thing is, like, quite a few actually. Unfortunately, a lot of them are way up top and harder to get at. I don't think they've done anything to the Dark Crystal. I'm just kind of like getting to the point that I'm not going to wait. Media glitch. Like I don't want to wait until I find out. Like I find it from Heath, right? Heath Shirley Midnight, really great guy. Love Heath to pieces, fantastic guy. I don't want to wait till it happens. Like for me, I know Does that sound alarmist? I don't want it to sound alarmist. Talking about the ones there underneath the Dragon Ball Z sets. Oh, these. Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, I like I mentioned earlier, I collect the Pot of Freeling. My better half's a huge fan. Remember these guys? So I got things like the Inspector, Roland and the Ratfink, Ant and the Aardvark, Tijuana Toads. Also picked up, of course, Pink Panther. I got the first 3 volumes of that. There's the other volume. Oh, there's 3. I know there's 3 here. Oh, got the first 2 on it. Sheriff Hootcloot, the Blue Racer, Crazy Legs Crane, the Dogfather. This was the hardest one. And find and Mr. Ja, which is actually really cool. And actually uses the Jaws music and kind of not quite sure that they were supposed to, but they do. I got to take this out because this is in the wrong order. So for those that don't know, aside from collecting a lot of horror and stuff that I collect a ton of animation. Me and my better half are huge animation fans. This is our animation section right here, and this is not all of it, but we call it the animation station, which I think is kind of a cool name. But this is my Betty Boop stuff. So, wrong line. I got volume 1, volume 2, volume 3, and volume 4. Anything like, and it's the thing, animation has already been. Do you have all the fists? I don't have all the fists of North Star. I love fists of North Star, though, man. I used to have some manga too. But we have some here. I think we've got some OVAs. I mean, if you like animation, this is the right channel. But especially if you like some stuff like the Ranma Halves and stuff like that, and the Mazingers. Got to find one of the Fists of North Star hardcover manga. That is nice. Remember the Mark Dacascos? Was it Mark? Or was it Gary? Who's the guy that acted in Fist of North Star? It's killing me right now. Because there's a movie. There's a live action film. I kid you not. Media glitch. You'll know then. Who was the actor that played Fist of the North Star? Because there's a live action film. But yeah, we've already seen things like Tom and Jerry get censored as well. Like Tom and Jerry's, it's been changed. So don't remind you. It was fake. So whenever I can, and if I see something that I think is important to me, I'm a Naruto fan. The one with Downtown Julie Brown, that's the one. So when I saw these in a shop, in my local gaming shop, actually, I had to pick up some of these. So I'm not sure I'm going to hear Gary Daniels. Thank you. Who was it, Gary? This is a Naruto uncut box set. So emphasis on the uncut part. So this is, I got the first 3 volumes. I need to get more. Has anybody seen these? I'll show you these. I'll show you these just for fun before going back to the thing. I do apologize if you're waiting to see me get onto the website. We will get there. It's a podcast. It's free flow. So you open this up, and first off, you see this, and this comes out, and you've got this here. If you're a Naruto fan and you haven't seen this, feel free to geek out. It's kind of cool. If you're not, then it's not going to mean anything to you. And right inside, you got the headband right here. See, there we go. And it also comes with the, this one comes with the bracelet. So the known comes the headband and one other thing, actually. Which one did you have, Justin? I have the first 3 volumes. So, which brings me up in the series, because this is the series right here. It also comes with a really big book. You can actually see like kind of the drawings for episode 28. The green set. Do I have that one? You can see right here if you're a Naruto fan. I actually have Naruto pajamas. Kid you not? We open it up like this, and it brings us up to episode 38. So the first 38 episodes in 3 sets, which isn't too bad. Though a lot more Naruto to get, obviously. If you're an anime or manga fan, then you know the pain of trying to collect all this stuff, or the pain of like something, and all of a sudden, like they're like, "Oh yeah, we decided we're not doing that anymore. We're not going to be supporting this. So we're going to stop. We're just going to stop this this show. We're not going to finish it." Sadly, that happens, guys. That really does happen. Like it is, it's crazy. Like you find these, like I think that's what I got like this for. I won't show them all because not everybody's a Naruto fan. Getting this back in is killer though. This is what you do. You actually take this thing out here. Hello, Ollie. You're adorable. Had the most adorable kitty cats. But there we go. I apologize. Some people are leaving. They're like, "What the hell is he doing?" I didn't come here to watch a guy kind of take apart a box set. Other ones I had not opened them up though is I got volume 2, which has what the it shows on the back. So there we go. Watch all Dragon Ball Z episodes. Yes, I have. I don't normally. Well, that's volume 1. Actually, volume 2 are there. Don't normally buy a lot of things unless I watch them or like kind of know what it is. I got blind buys, of course. And this is the blue one right here. And in this one, of course, we got the Naruto headband and the necklace. This is the Sand Village one. Good thing about this is I'm able to put them in the right order. I'm very like OCD about that. But yeah, no, we collect a lot of that stuff. We got the entire Ranma half here. Total Dragon Ball Z. We are GT fans, so come at me. My better half's favorite is right here, and that is Mazinger Z. So we're big Mazinger fans in this house, and we even got the. But the neatest thing is the set that we have, and that is up there. I won't get it down now, but what it is the it's in the Mazinger spaceship. So the UFO thing, like the Mazinger, like the red with the helmet. So we have that, and like the entire series is collected in that. France puts out some great anime sets. I don't have the Evangeline Sand. I wish I did. But I'll get back to 88 films because I know you guys are like, you've gone on a tangent, Aaron. You've done it again. So one of the things that they did right here, and I've watched Dragon Ball Super. Yes, I watched all the Dragon Ball. I think I watched all Dragon Ball. I'm not sure if I've seen all the Super. I think I have, yeah. And I'm pretty sure they either put in or they were going to put in a section for 4Ks. I need to get more anime in my collection. My better half was like pretty insistent on it, actually. They said they're going to be putting in a new section soon for 4K releases, like for all the 4K releases, so they'll be all under one banner. And here's all the 88 Films USA, by the way. So if you're in the United States, you want to know which films are right there. You see, there's a lot of the Asian titles. Who's your favorite Dragon Ball Z character, Gleaming? I almost picked up Dragon's Trevor actually when I was in Canada. I regret not doing it. Because and for those that haven't collected anything from 88 Films, they put out some really, really good releases. This is let's see, it goes right because MVD Rewind is their distributor. Hey there, Ken. Welcome. Rumors Opera 4K is coming from Severin. I'd hold off on the beautiful German set. If it's come from Severin, I'll hold off. As long as you live in the States, don't you, Ken? You're set. See, I'm basic gaming. Guess who my favorite is? It's gonna be fairly basic. You're gonna figure it right away. I'm a Piccolo fan. I really am. I like Bo, but I'm a Piccolo Blue, but I'm a Piccolo fan. I'd wait. I've been waiting to hear more on Severin. Like, I heard rumors that they're going to be doing a sale this month. But if they are, we don't have all the original Dragon Ball. Well, I've seen it, but I don't own it. We only own one set in the original Dragon Ball series. That's season 4. It's the only one we're able to find. Well, Severin transfer. I say if it's not, it'll be comparable. Barrow Ground. Oh, yes. That's Andre Bianchi, George. I'm a huge fan. Barrow Ground. Here's another recommendation you probably got already, though. Strip Nude for Your Killer. So that was Andre Bianchi's Giallo. So Barrow Ground is his kind of zombie Templars Night style-esque film. And Strip Nude for Your Killer says Giallo. And in every case of an Andre Bianchi film, you're going to notice this. It's insane. The guy's either, is not totally working on a full deck, or he's a genius. And I think he's kind of a genius. I think because when I watch like Barrow Ground, or when I watch like Strip Nude for Your Killer, by the way, guys, like, share, subscribe, super chat, super donate, or super sticker to help with the channel, because I got a feeling I'm going to get like demonetized again. Survivor Nice. He's free from 1979. Great expectation. There's some good stuff, man. There's so much good stuff out there. And that's the thing. There's a Pete Walker set, which George has. I think the exploitation set. We'll go with that. And we'll definitely want to see more of that stuff come out, especially right now. Like, I think the French Connection thing has changed it for a lot of us. Like, some of us that were kind of like leisurely collecting, or like just thinking, okay, it's safe. And then we lost Network around the same time from the UK, and which is a big company. And all of a sudden, certain films don't seem safe anymore. Certain like TV shows don't seem safe. Not everything's going to stream, and if it does, as we just found out, not everything's going to stream its original format. Which brings me to the title of this video: Curating Your Collection. I try to move a bit away from like just the word kind of collecting in general, because unfortunately that does come with its own negative connotations. I'm a curator. We'll go with that. But I'm a collector. I get film, but I get films that I want to watch. Nothing that I buy here is for a show, or or because I want all the volumes of a certain thing. And that's really important. That's on the upcoming 4K Arrow Bruce set, not having Entered the Dragon 4K included. I don't know if they could. I mean, I know it's there on Blu-ray. But it's let's bring it up here, actually, because I do have Arrow up here, by the way. So we can see it right here. This is the set that he's talking about. It always says I got something in my basket. I have nothing in my basket. What's in my basket? What does it say? Shotoscope Volume 2. Apparently, they really want me to buy Shotoscope Volume 2. As you can see right here, like we got 4K presentations of like everything except for Enter the Dragon, which is a Blu-ray. No, I'm not sure if maybe, like you just mentioned, because Warner's releasing their own, they can't do that. What I will say is that, as far as I'm aware, This is the first time that we're getting a set because I'm not sure if the Criterion one had Enter the Dragon in it. Like, you can let me know because I don't have it. I'm glad I don't have it because I want this set. Um, I'm pretty sure like this is the first time that Enter Dragon has been included in a Bruce Lee set, right? Normally, like, because I got an old DVD set of Bruce Lee, like an old DVD set of Bruce Lee, and it never included Enter the Dragon because that was from a different company. So it just able to get them all like in one collection. And at the end of the day, like, I almost think that as a bonus. So I can buy the Warner set, and if I want to, like, when the 4K comes out eventually, and swap it out if I really want it in 4K. And I probably eventually will. So that would be like how I would take it, or what I do with it. It does have Enter Dragon. Okay, good. I did not know they're claiming. So we're getting them all here. But I guess this is the first time in 4K for most of these. And there's just so much on this set. Like, one thing I can pretty much say is there's going to be stuff on this set that you will not get in the Criterion edition, aside from 4K. There will be features on here. There'll be things, and just let me be bluntly honest. Like, I've yet to find, and this is me, like, so don't hate on me too much. I've yet to find a time when Arrow's put out something and Criterion has put out the same thing that Arrow has not had the best version of it. Yeah, it's kind of the yellow one is just for the website only. Basically, it's like different artwork, like that's on the website. So if you buy it from here, you're going to get that artwork. If you buy it from like somewhere else, you get like the other art. Much in the same way, I think they're taking it. Arrow's taking it a lot, and they've done this with some of their 4Ks and stuff, and their Blu-ray sets as well, especially their Argento stuff. In that, we've gotten a lot of these here, like, different artwork, and the reason, and it's much in the same way that if you collect comics, like oversized comics work, like omnibuses, there's often a standard edition cover and a direct market cover, so an exclusive cover. And movies have gone that way to a large extent. Like, if you buy Deep Red, there's Deep Red, the original one. There's the art original version of it as well. Look, there's so much good stuff coming out, guys. Look at this. You need to, it's a great set. There's so much good stuff. Like, and anybody, like, feel free, can bait me on. I'm okay with that. If you say no, I think Criterion did a better job with this, then I shan't take it personally. But no, I think like, I've gotten the Criterion edition of Videodrome. I got the Arrow edition of Videodrome. Arrow edition of Videodrome is vastly superior. I had a chance to get the Decalogue. I had to get either the limited edition Decalogue from Arrow Video or the Decalogue from Criterion. Again, Christoph Kowalski's Decalogue through Arrow was much better. I have the 88 Films edition because we're actually going to pick on Criterion here, of the Children of the Corn 1 to 3 set. And Arrow has definitely upgraded that set tremendously, including a 4K for the original Children of the Corn. To me, it feels like not all to get the complete. But you had to put warrants. No, it's not. It's not being. It's understandable. But, like, that being said, I guess considering too, like, it is a big film. Like, you're not talking about, like, okay, this isn't like, okay, they put, like, in Children of the Corn, for instance, right? The Children of the Corn is in 4K, but part 2 and part 3 are in Blu-ray. And that's, you get that as understandable because basically, for a lot of people, the first one, it's the original, it's iconic. Actually, the original is my least favorite of those 3 films. But if you're like you're really huge, like, diehard Children of the Corn fan, and then you might want to like, damn, I wish the other 2 in 4K as well. The Arrow set Enter the Dragon will just have the 2013 40th anniversary Blu-ray. Might not have both cuts. Criterion did some color corrections and under Enter the Dragon on both cuts. Well, we have to wait really, Gleam, until it comes out. Here's the standard edition cover, by the way, guys. Because we won't really know for sure until we've seen it, like there. Because I can tell you right now, if you picked up any of the previous like Empire Pictures releases from Scream Factory, and you picked up the Empire of Screams set from Empire from Arrow Video, you tremendously upgraded. Tremendously upgraded. So let's look down here at this. Yeah, so right now I'm seeing like looks like they're putting the 40th anniversary edition of the film. Now they may not have. Now Criterion may have like specific rights or to that type of that specific film, or those specific like color corrections that may have been done by Criterion. They may own the exclusivity rights in that one, and they may go to overseas. But you can't look at the set, like objectively look at this set here, because I'm going to bring up Criterion Blu-ray set. I'm doing this for a reason. So this is a slim, flimsy box case, right there, and it's 4 discs: Big Boss, Fists of Fury, Away the Dragon, Enter the Dragon. It's got Game of Death there too. I'm going to guess either on one of the other discs, or is there a 5th disc I can't see? How many discs is this thing? 7 discs. Okay, why do I only see 4 discs? 2 more there and the one. They're not showing them all, are they? But anyway, so this versus this looks better. It looks better. Objectively, it looks better. Well, look at the artwork here on these releases. It's amazing. The cards, the poster, the much sturdier book. And there's nothing wrong. This is a good set. It's a well-produced set. I wouldn't say it's a well like when you come to the actual set itself, the physical set. But the stuff in it is well produced. But I'm an Arrow fanboy. But bar none. I'll be honest. Always been an Arrow fanboy. I apologize, guys, if I seem like a little out of sorts. It is warm today. That's it. You're a Bruce Lee guy, right? So it doesn't matter. Like there's certain things like I had to have, like when Friday the 13th came out and Halloween came out, when those sets came out from Scream Factory Gleaming, like it's not like I didn't have any Friday 13th Halloween movies in my collection. I had them all, and for cheaper with a bunch of features, right? But those deluxe editions of Friday 13th were nice sets. But nope. As soon as that set came out, I had it. I had to have it. Halloween, I was such a huge fan. I was waiting at the door, like Future Shop door, when it opened up. They only had 1 copy of it in there. And since then, what have I done? I've gotten about 4Ks as well. So if you're really a fan of something, I think you're going to end up getting it anyway. And I think it's really important right now. Like, the French Connection lit a fire under a lot of people. Which leads me to ask you guys, has this changed anything for you when it comes to collecting, aside from running out and getting the French Connection? Has that made you like second guess anything? Has that made you like check any different thing? Have you looked back at titles that you were thinking of and thinking, okay, maybe I better get that? Because a while back, when that law got passed over, that's it China, I think. Um, Correct me if I'm wrong, guys. Where basically they could go back and take films that had come out previously, like years ago, and censor them or delete them. Then we started to see a lot more Asian cinema coming on from boutique labels. I don't think I don't think that was coincidence. It might have been. It might have to do with like acquisition at the time. Might have been like pricing, like just where the market was going. But I think that definitely didn't hurt. And so you got to see people buying a lot more stuff that they may have kind of waited on or passed up on. A lot more people are buying the Shawscope stuff, the Shaw Brothers releases from Scream Factory, the stuff from Arrow Video, getting the 88 films like Asia collection, stuff like that. Recon BFI stuff. Has it changed like any of your thoughts when it comes to what you're getting next or what you're saving up for, what you're collecting for? Or is it pretty much par for the course for all of you? 'Cause I'd really like to know. Yeah, the Arrow set is cuts of the film never before seen. That's going to be pretty incredible, actually. But I leave that question with you. Like, if anybody wants to answer it, it would be fantastic. I'd love to know what your thoughts are, because everybody on here, I'm guessing, you guys collect. You got your, whether it's like a small shelf or you're like me and you're overrun by physical media. I wonder if my mom or dad are here right now. Are you here, guys? Speak up if you are. There's a possibility. My dad, I don't know if my dad would get the Bruce Lee set. I mean, like, if expenses were like, if we were all rich, we'd all get the Bruce Lee set, right? But like Gleaming mentioned, like it's a pricey set, and like what George said, like, or I might say, for some people, like if you live in the UK, it's cheaper. For those that are unaware, like if you live in the UK, Criterion is a relatively new thing to the UK, and they were distributed by Sony, I think. Criterion was being distributed by Sony, and I think Elliot Cohen mentioned this. So Elliot, it's a nice channel actually. Does some cool stuff, and they're no longer being distributed by Sony. So for a while, there's been a lull in Criterion, and there hasn't been like a whole lot of new Criterion for the UK, and that's because they've gone to another distributor. But with that being said, I want to look here for a second. Cinema's first nasty women. I kind of like that actually. Filmmakers for the prosecution. Doing story of a motion pictures were used to convict the Nazis at the Nuremberg trial. Wow, damn, how much that? Hell yeah. There's so much great stuff that Kino puts out on a regular basis. Thanks, George. I'm pretty sure, like I saw a bit of that, because what I do is I have like a playlist of like people that I normally watch, and if I'm doing something, I'm editing or I'm working on like I'm scripting up something for the channel, then I'll normally go out and I'll just dive into I'll put on a list and I'll like almost like a podcast. Elliot's got a really good voice for that, by the way. That's that's important. People, what you see on here is and this is the key. I'll tell you, here's the key to YouTube a lot, I think. And I think it has been for me. And I'm a small channel. Not a relative, I'm a small channel. It's what you hear. Because so many people aren't watching. They're listening to this. There's a vast majority of people that aren't even looking at the screen right now, or that are going to be watching this later on, that aren't going to be watching it. They're going to hear my voice. And that's why when I'm doing a video now, as opposed to when I started doing live videos, I try to be a bit more expressive and a bit more explanatory when I'm talking about a title or certain things, because I know there's going to be people that are just listening to it, and context is king. Can wait line till the new releases for Kino Lorber usually go on sale. I got a video queued up, and I got to see part of it, but I need to watch the rest of it. That Just the Disc did about the Night of the Hunter. And like I'm not gonna lie, for a while, like I was peeved with Kino. Like people know that, they know the reason for it. Like I was hurt. But yeah, like that thing here, Sermon Nights does some great interviews. Just recently did a podcast talking about gatekeeping, and it was really fascinating to the point where they're ending it, and I'm like, I would like to listen to this girl talk longer. Like I want this podcast to be longer, because she was just so good. But I think Heath has done some of the Heath Brian Justice. They've done some of the best interviews with people from different companies that I've seen. There's a reason that he continually is doing like commentaries now. And all like false modesty aside, if I was in a different area, if I was in the United States doing this, in Los Angeles or something like that, that's what I'd be doing. That's where my channel would have gone. That's my thoughts. I'm sticking with that. But look at the stuff that they put out. I mean, like just like films, TV stuff. I'm trying to find like a shop special collections, fan favorites. I like the way they got this done. Well, their supplies last sale is here, so I'm going to guess which is not here anymore. Why do you keep this up, Kino? Why do you do this to me? Why? Why do you have a well supplies last section that's no longer there? Apparently, supplies didn't last. The sale's not there anymore. Stop showing it. Take it off. It's a bit of code. All you got to do is go in and take that code out. I know some of you guys here have coded. You know this isn't hard. Vacation is set to Canada. Here's a shout out to George. So for those that don't know, I am a huge fan of WTF cinema. My channel is based upon WTF cinema. And you all know what WTF stands for. One of the most WTF things you'll ever see. And George knows the pain of this, by the way, is this right here. From Hollywood to Heaven, the lost and saved films of the Armond family. And I'm sure there were some people that looked at this set when it was announced and were like, who the hell are these guys? Yeah, like so, like I was started watching it late at night, and I was getting ready to go to sleep, and I'm like, I can't not watch it and give it my full attention. As George said, and I love this, by the way. You'd rather watch paint dry than watch an Armond family film. And I completely get it. Nobody's watching these films ever because they're great cinema. You have to have a special palette, I guess, is what we're going to say, for this type, because this can be, their stuff can be pretty painful. And that's being bluntly honest with you guys with this stuff. That being said, This is 100% the type of stuff that me and my better half would sit down and watch. Well, you would watch Paint Dry George. We would watch this, like through. We'll watch every feature on this thing. Um, so the Armond family, they were a family. They were filmmakers. You know, we're going to loosely call them filmmakers, and but they were exploitation filmmakers. So they made like all kinds of stuff. But they had a coming of moment, a religious epiphany, uh, and because they were in a plane crash, they survived. Stuff like that happens. So what would happen with them then? So they made really bad like exploitation films, like in all types. I mean, like could be like musicals, could be westerns, could be like uh, I wouldn't say raunchy, but like kind of like those cutie type stuff. I appreciate that, man. Um, I really, really do. But the thing is, like, once they had this coming of like to where once they became like super religious, they got together with a Baptist minister by the name of you're gonna love this name, guys. Estes Perkel. I couldn't make that name up if I tried. He's from Mississippi, and he is one of the least engaging persons you can imagine being a minister. So they decided to make films with him, like religious films, and he would be kind of like narrator for the films, and would be unintentionally hilarious when he with some of the stuff they would say. But here's the thing: they had cut their teeth on exploitation, right? So when they decided to move into like making quote unquote religious films, they were still making them with the same mindset that they used to make their exploitation films. So Please Don't Touch Me, the exotic ones, is made in the same style that an Estes Perker film like Blood Will Flow Like Water is made. It's a insane film where it does stuff you would never expect a religious film to do, and that is pour on the blood and get really weird, and that fascinates me. So George was not a huge fan of this. Well, to say he was not a huge fan is an understatement. He did not like this. And rather to see it like just go to waste on a shelf. And this is what's important. But curating is get like putting things into your collection that you want to watch, that you like. George is passing it on to somebody to me who's somebody that's gonna like enjoy it and appreciate it. Because at the end of the day, when you're looking at this stuff, don't let like a set or a movie like you like and collect the way you want to. Like don't let me tell you how to collect. Never. But my opinion, especially if funds are limited or if you're looking at stuff, uh, don't let the number on a title be your reasoning for picking something up. Like you can't miss a number 37 or something if you don't like number 37 or whatever. Um, I mean, like some people are like that. You can afford it and that type of thing. 100%. Yes. But if you're looking to like have a film collection and like years down the road, you want to look back at this and say, okay, I'm going to watch this. I'm going to watch this. This is what I'm going to be interested in. Then yeah, even like a lot of us, like guys like me and Heath and like Brian and like a ton of us realized like, okay, when we started, we probably collected a lot of stuff that we looked at and we're like, am I going to watch this again? Right? Or did I buy this because it had a slipcover? Did I buy this because there was a certain number on the spine of something? Or did I buy this because it's something I really wanted? And if you're when you get to that point, and it's a big point when you look at something, you're like, this is, I like this company, but I don't need this. 3 Criterion releases, but no way am I getting all the pink. Exactly. Well, that's what like Bill Hader said on his Criterion Cosmon. Salo, perfect date film. I love Bill Hader, by the way. Very excellent show. And who does not like him on Saturday Night Live? Oh yes, definitely. I've purged from my collection many times. I have had films that gave to my kids, films that I gave to my cousin. Sometimes it would doubles or triples of things. Sometimes it would be just things that I knew I wasn't going to be watching. Uh, Necromantic, too. By the way, big release for Arrow Video, like big set. Uh, I probably could have like sold it on the secondary market, but I figured my dad would appreciate it like more than I would, and it cost me a bit to buy that set. So I gave it to my dad. But yeah, I've definitely like purged things from my collection that I know I'm not going to go back to, or that I no longer watch, because shelf, like just like in your local Walmart or something like that, like shelf space is limited, and it means something. So when I have over 9 crates of films on a farm right now that that I can't get out, then I really like start to rethink. Okay, if I can't put all these films out, I want to make sure that I have the film that I want, and certain things are going to be like cycled. As in, like, okay, these films. Like, I know I'm always going to have my Arrow, my Scream Factory, my Severin, my Indicators, my Vinegar Syndromes. They'll always be there. But other things make it cycled in and out. And it's very important to like understand, like when you're collecting, as this is becoming your thing. You decide, okay, I want to collect film. I want to like curate for what you like. That's most important thing I can say. Like I can never talk about like the purging of something, and then you say, oh no, but I never do it. No, if I'm talking about something, then my money's where my mouth is at for this type of thing, or my money's not where my mouth's at. If you understand what I mean. This one George loved. Mexico Macabre, Four Sinister Tales from the Almeida Film Vaults, 1959 to 1963. Strong recommendation on this one. I think there's going to be a lot more people that are going to be into this than the Armond set. You got to be a certain type of person to watch the Armond set. You got to be weird. You got to be like me. You got to be strange. What's that? The quote from Riverdale, right? First season, right? I'm weird. I'm a weirdo. I don't want to fit in. You think wearing this hat is normal? Do you think a normal person would wear this hat? I watched a lot of Riverdale, guys. It's coming through there. I relate to Jughead. But look how gorgeous this set is. This is definitely from Brainiac right here. Really cool little film. Great stuff. This is a set you really love, wasn't it, George? So yeah, like this is that. And look at the artwork on these things. Brainiac's got a weird side, by the way, but I love it. Just gorgeous artwork. I love this right here. This is beautiful. Exactly, yeah. And it's really not an easy thing to do. Like, what comes off the shelf and what goes into storage? My cousin Raj has lived in some smaller places over the years. So what he's had to do is, where a lot of people look towards buying Blu-ray or buying 4K, my cousin will look and say, okay, if I can get it in DVD and I gotta like move somewhere, I gotta pack some stuff away, then I can rip it to my computer and have it. So it's not like he downloads something offline. Actually, my cousin is super anti-torrenting. He would never torrent. Not like I'm not joking. Would never. He was not a Napster guy. He was not a Part Bay guy. He has to own physical copies of titles, and that's the only way they'll ever put anything on his computer. So basically, what he does is he will go and buy DVD copies, because DVD ones are easier to handbrake, basically. And that way, if you're in a smaller area and you got to put like a bunch of stuff away, and you don't have very much stuff out there, you still have it on your hard drive. And that's why that he does that. That's why I think for a lot of people, still DVD is such a huge seller. One, it's cheap. Two, it's easily much more easily accessible than like say 4K or something like, or kind of Blu-ray in some cases. Yeah, and three, a lot of people do tend to put their stuff, like have stuff on their computer, Like especially like you've got TV shows or something like that. We bought all the Three's Company and it's a big set, or something like Diagnosis of Murder, Dexter. Those things are huge. So if you're a hardcore fan, you probably get a Blu-ray set or something like that, or but you may just say, I want to watch this show. This is something that I really want, and you can find a good price on the set. Then you can buy it, and you can put it onto a hard drive, and put the set away. Definitely, that's a great thing there. Like stuff like the Mexico Macabre thing is a great gateway set to basically to these genres. Great start when I got Dance Macabre from was put up by Severin. Again, another fantastic set. Here's something I wonder about, and I want to know, like, much like the Armond set, who has this? And I'm gonna like give my particular like lack of knowledge right here on something, which I think is very important to do. Be wary if a channel somebody knows everything. But Michael J. Murphy, not someone I'm super familiar with. Who bought this set and who liked this set? Because honestly, until I looked up some of the stuff, I realized I had not seen much or at all much of this set, if any. But I kind of love that this is a set that exists. I think it's a weird ass cover. I know that you got it. But did you find it kind of like, so you're okay with like so you like the exploitation, like, well, Michael J. Murphy, he's a better filmmaker, but he's like a micro budgeted filmmaker. Because it is like, it's not something like, if anybody asks me like, do you recommend like the noir sets? Yeah, I know that stuff. Do you recommend Santo? Yes, I watched every Santo film. Do you recommend Stanley Long's Adventures? Yes, as a kid I watched these all the time. But but if you ask me like, who's Michael J. Murphy? I'm like, I'm going to look it up on Wikipedia. Murray, is it Murray? Gee, it's Murphy. Okay, I want to make sure I get the name right. They're really that much better than movies with repertory. Oh, that sounds kind of cool. I mean, like, there's a guy that I like. Maybe it's very similar actually. Called Don Dohler, and his films definitely are something that are an experience. We'll put it that way. I did films like Night Beast and Alien Factor, like things like that. I'm never going to tell you like that they're amazing, but there's a charm in the way that they're done. He did one called The Fiend, which I really liked, because he'll have like use his family in the film a lot, and certain like local actors and stuff, and it's very very micro, low budgeted, but there's just something about them that kind of make them stand apart. And I'm going to guess that Michael J. Murphy may be like, because I don't know, so correct me if I'm wrong. I like that. Hey, Indy, welcome, man. Did you do the Vengeance partner label titles the other day? Thanks to your update. Thanks, man. I'm glad you did. What did you get? That Michael J. Murphy may be kind of a Don Dohler-esque. Let me grab a drink because my throat is going. And let's continue this. I'm going to try not to break my shelf like I did the other night. And let's dive more into some of these because there's certain things here that I think you should get. Indy, here's a question for you as I go by. Vince, Justin, anybody that wants to answer this? George, I mentioned it before. Nobody really took me up on it, but has the French Connection censorship like issue changed the way you're looking at collecting certain things? Are there certain things you want to grab now just in case? It's really warm. I may be the most hyperactive YouTuber you guys ever meet. John Berlin movies look very interesting. Definitely. I'm looking at older Hollywood pictures now on DVD and collecting them, and even some Touchstone films. French Connection issue really bothers me. I mean, where does it stop? That's the thing. It doesn't change anything for you. Like it did for me a while back, and I think it was indicator, like in a good way, that helped that out. And I will show you right now. This is sold out now, but this is, and I'm sure most of you guys have this. No, George has this. The Fu Manchu cycle, 1965 to 1969. When this was released, I am sure that I'm not the only person that looked at this and said, I'm picking this up now because I'm not sure this will be out or be able to be something that we can buy in a few months. Hold on a second. Baby, get this up here. It's right here. Right here, baby. Right here. Let me see. Lori's recently been on medication. She now has like a specific type of food that she eats, and the other ones where the kittens eat like kind of kitten food. So if I see her go towards the other food, I got to bring her because I put her food up there for her. Don't think you've seen any Fu Manchu title. I mean, I think they're fun. They're adventure films. I love Jess Franco, but his are the lesser of the films. And of course, there's the old ones, Andy, that were put out with Warner Oland in them from Kino Lorber. That's a nice set too, and a very inexpensive set. Toaster 2 thing's not that bad. It's just something after the gag reel or during the credits. Okay. But when it comes to stuff like that, you get there and you're like, and you see that, like the thing with French Connection is Popeye Doyle is he's the star of the film, that he's the anti-hero, but Popeye Doyle is not meant to be a really nice guy. He's rough. He's definitely, more than a bit racist. The character Gene Hackman's playing is based off someone, and it's based off a certain time period. So I wouldn't expect it to be censored any more than I expect something like Mississippi Burning to be censored. Yeah, like because it's it's a part. It's part and parcel. It's part of the film. I know, like some people say, well, it's just a line here, it's a throwaway line there, but like that's a start. That's the start of something. It's a throwaway line here, or maybe I'm not quite sure about what about this? What about this line here? What about this? Like I talked about, like the Michael Dudikoff film, where basically there's he's fighting out against a secret, like evil, like specific type of group, like that kind of mirrors like a different political group, and that could get censored. And I don't think we should look at this in a political way. I think it's the last thing we want to do. Cinema fans should just be under one umbrella, like in movies. That's my thoughts on it. Just people that people that enjoy films. So that's what I want to do here. That's why I never talk politics on my channel. Um, that no matter what side of any fence you're on, or what if you're walking in the middle of a fence, that this is something that can fairly pretty much agree on, is that these things should not be censored. You imagine like these films, like John Rollins films, for instance, like Tour from Vampires, The Shiver of the Vampire, The Grape of the Vampire, because we're not going to get in trouble here, guys. And Night of the Hunted, fantastic, coming out in 4K, incredible releases. Hey, Jimmy, welcome, man. And things can be like, we're not talking about things just being censored just because like a word or something like that. Like music rights can cause something to get censored, can something get altered. Anybody that collects TV shows knows Happy Days. WKRP in Cincinnati, which was based on a radio. It's a show comedy set on a radio station that has lots of music. There's going to be issues there. The Mae West set is one of my all-time favorites. I love Mae West. If anybody doesn't have this, you really should. It's Mae West from 1932 to 1943, and it's got a ton of really great films. We got some Night After Night, Cheat on 'Em Wrong. Of course, that's a classic right there. I'm No Angel, Belle of the 90s, Going to Town, Klondike Annie's there. Go West Young Man is here. Every Day's a Holiday, My Little Chickadee. My Little Chickadee. The Heat's On. Yeah, exactly. The Odd Couple, for instance. Like not something you would normally associate with, okay, this got some great music, right? Unless you're an Odd Couple fan and you know this stuff like Vince does. You would not say, okay, I guess the Odd Couples one's going to have some. No, but it did. Happy Days. The theme songs can be censored and taken out of there. If you watch Booker on TV, it was a spinoff of 21 Jump Street. Then the theme song was Hot in the City by Billy Idol. If you pick up the Booker collection, that's not there. If you watch the series Wise Guy, which was one of my favorite shows, and you're watching it through, you're watching the complete collection of Wise Guy, and you're like, where's those Dead Dog record episodes? It's not they're not there because there was music in it. There was rights issues. You couldn't use Dead Dog record. And it's a really good, that's a damn good series of episodes too. It was a shorter arc. Wise Guy is a series where basically he plays a character that's like an FBI agent, and he's going undercover, and usually runs in like story arcs. It's a really good show. But those are gone. Like those are not. They can't bring them back. And the time that somebody negotiates and gets the ability to put out like Wise Guy with the Dead Dog record, that's going to sell extremely well, because that's a series that does have a fan base that are waiting for that. So that's why it's become really important for me. And when I collect a lot of TVs. Here, I'll show you something. I collect things here like the Wild Wild West, which not the movie. This is like the actual TV series from back in the day. I have like sets here like The Fugitive, like Murder, She Wrote. Still the best way to collect Nightmare on Elm Street. Hey, Petunia. And all this has made me really grateful that I've collected like this. It's made me extremely grateful. You really enjoyed that Mae West set? It is a great set. Look how gorgeous it looks too. Petunia's so tiny. I like to better show you guys, but she's like super. These Common Noir sets, which I have, like by the way, a lot of these sets here, like thanks to George, especially these latter ones. Off topic. Partner label tells you ordered on the. No, it's on topic. I asked you. Virgin High, hot under the collar. Nice. Okay. Video murders. Did you really? Streets of Death, Night Ripper, Duck, the Carbine High Massacre. Yeah, somebody said they did a dissertation on that. Let me know what you think. I'm actually kind of curious, especially with Video Murder, it's because I remember that as being have the worst cover, and I'm hoping to like, okay, it's this is going to be one of those movies that's like deceptive as a deceptive cover. The book Indicator is amazing booklet. I am. Ice. I love ice. Especially now. It's warm. Actually, how warm is it? I'm inside right now. It's 4:16. So it's 27 degrees in the shade. So probably around 35, 36. So, and my better half has told me it's going to get way hotter than this. You have the VHS, really? That should be interesting. Like, that is intriguing. Have you seen the, now that 80 Films is now doing the untracked international shipping? So 35 pounds and over, international shipping untracked. I personally would still go for the track shipping because that's me. But I like that they're giving you that option. Last chance to buy. What's there? Mind Ripper, which we know from a video I recently did on Code Red, and Vampire Journals, which is kind of the an offshoot from the Subspecies series. Actually, it's really good. I actually liked it in the last Subspecies movies. Well, not the latest one. I've seen the latest one, so I really can't tell you that one. But we are in a golden age of collecting. There is no doubt about it that we are in a golden age of collecting right now. The other night I got to watch Crash on 4K. Oh, that is going to be an amazing trip, though, George. And Crash was a very like divisive film when it came out. But I got to watch Crash uncut in 4K, and it came from the UK. And that's like something like to really think about. Like, has anybody seen Crash? And when I say Crash, I'm talking about, of course, the Cronenberg film, not the one that won an Oscar that I really didn't deserve. But that is neither here nor there. But there's titles like that I think really, really deserve to be like be saved, be kept. The Fu Manchu series, I do think it deserves to be kept. One of the Indicator sets, another one right out of the gate that I knew was going to have some controversy around it was one of the Hammer sets that is gone out of print by now, and this one is one right here, Volume 3, Blood and Terror, like Shrines of Bombay, Tear the Tongs. I knew that was going to have some controversy around it, but it's uncut here, and it's uncut, and we got like some Doctor Who actors, and like I think Strings of Bombay is the master, Roger Delgado, first master. Well, everybody's got their thing, Justin. Charles Band's first movie. Was it really? It was called Crash. Crash has one of the most enough disturbing. I want to ruin the ending. One of the most poignant endings, especially for that type of film, that I've ever seen. And I won't say what it is, but I will quote it maybe next time. And if you know, then you know what that means. And did they really do Porky? Well, Porky's is good. I love Porky's. Porky's is so underrated. Because when you really think about it, when you know what maybe next time means for that film, then you can't unknow. Then it is still kind of disturbing, right? Favorites Volume 4. I'm going to guess that's the one with, yeah, it is. Volume 4 for the Hammer one. Also started, unfortunately, by the way, guys. Has Revenge of Frankenstein, Two-Face of Dr. Jekyll, Taste of Fear, all great films. But what really stands out is it has The Damned. And this one right here was the first time we got to see on one of these like Hammer indicator sets a 2-disc film. So because The Damned is a 2 Blu-ray set, and I think it was called These Are the Damned in North America, something like that. But yeah, we get both versions, a whole bunch of features. Like never sleep on indicator stuff. Like their stuff that they're putting out there is just beyond. Like if you're into it, like I'm into this, but it's not something I'd recommend for everybody. Like whenever I talk about a title that strange is different, there's a caveat. I think I just sneezed. So I crashed, but 6 times in the center. Really? Have actually credits were different because he had a print that was used at the Cannes Film Festival before proper titles were ready. That is amazing. Give me 1 second to grab something. I apologize. I'll be right back. But I'm not gone. But enjoy this amazing picture of the only volume of Hammer still left. As I grab something really quickly. Boo. So yeah, I had to sneeze, like really sneeze. Thank you for staying. It's time for indicator newsletter to let you know when supplies are running low. I love the fact that you do that, actually. I love the fact that Vinegar Synonym has a counter. I love that indicator sends you notifications. I love that that Severn does that as well when it comes to when things are going low to let you know. And Severn even let you know merchandise things are going low. Could have used quad posters. Oh, that would be so amazing. This, of course, is from the Captain Clegg film, and I should have. Should I risk it, guys? Should I risk it? Let's see. Let's try not to knock anything down. It's tomorrow now. That's right there. Oh. Actually, This one's kind of neat. I was going to take down the Dr. Sin one. But let's take down this one. This is the Zorro complete second season set tin from Disney. So, yes, a couple of the tins had different color on them, but still part of the series. So you open it up. You get a pin. There is the book with the episode guide. You'll have a certificate of authenticity with the number. Mine is 21,055 of 30,000. That may seem like a lot now, but back in the day. Also, there would be a picture by Williams. And then you would have the set right here. And this is, I think, a 5-disc set for the second season. Gives you a little timeline exactly where it fit. And then if you open it up, each one has its own picture. When I was in the Disney Club, because Disney has a really good kind of Disney Club thing, I had there was a set, you could send away, get enough Disney points, right? You can send them away to get special things. So one of the things that I got was season 1 of that series. And when I did, I got like a whole thing of it, and basically I gave it to my kids because I already had the seasons, and they're no longer around anymore. Which Freddie Francis film? I have actually really good news for you, Justin, because right now I'm actually reaching out. Nightmare's a really good film, actually. I really like Nightmare Andy. I think that's one I'll read, right? It's what I'm thinking of. There's a mask or something that really creeped me out. Like, I had it on DVD in my Hammer set. But I got my Hammer sets like in Paris because one of his friends lives in Paris. So when the Indicator sale came about a while back and the Arrow had a sale, we decided, we realized, hey, we're living in Morocco now. Oh no, I'm off screen on purpose because I was sneezing. That was a purpose, not by accident, guys. I know you guys can hear me. So yeah, my nose is running. I was sneezing, so I muted myself because what the heck just happened here? Because correct me if I'm wrong. Like, as joyful as I am to watch, hey there, Heroic, welcome, man. Watching me sneeze is not something that you guys signed up to do. But yeah, Nightmare's a really good film. It's Oliver Reed, and but this set I haven't seen like this edition. I've got like a Hammer set up there that has the entirety of it. So that one is that is I liked all the Hammer thrillers. And I think since set 1 or set 2 that had Die Die My Darling, which I really, really enjoyed. It's also called The Fanatic. I think it's called The Fanatic in the UK. And Die Die My Darling was like the name they used in North America. It says Stephanie Powers and Tallulah Bankhead. And Stephanie Powers would actually act on a play as Tallulah Bankhead, like down the road. But yeah, that was a great movie. And when you look at all these sets that have come and gone, I'm just glad that they're able to bring some of these sets back again. I would love to see them, like in the future, bring back like much the way they did with the Sandbat set. I would love to see them bring back some of these early Hammer sets, or Boddicker set, or the Harryhausen sets for other people. Like I have these sets, but I'm never the type of person that says, okay, it's a limited edition set. I'm glad I got it. It's out of print. I hope nobody gets it. No, I want as many print as possible so as many people can get them and talk about them and enjoy them as I do. Like I don't collect for scarcity. I collect that movies that I enjoy. I know, and the fact is, if there's more people that have the movies that I watch, that have enjoyed them, that's more people I can talk about on here. Talk to about on here about some of this stuff. What time's in Morocco right now? It is 4:31. I'm actually waiting for Game Fest, and that I was going to do this later on tonight. Then I realized this is Game Fest. Speaking of which, I can ask you guys a question. Maybe nobody's going to be interested, or nobody's going to care about this, but who watched the WDDC, or at least saw this? Because I'm very curious. And if you did, what are your thoughts? It's 7:30 p.m., so it's later there in the night. You know, China is one of the places that me and my better half want to visit the most. I want to go to China. I want to go to Japan. Those are like two of our. Anybody here else kind of at least a little techie like me? This is Apple Vision Pro. You've probably heard about it on Twitter or read about it or seen it somewhere. Yeah, the game event's come on there today. I'm a big gamer, so I'm going to watch that. I hope it does come out too. Volume 2 would be great. It's a great volume, man. So this is not VR really. There's VR aspects to it. It definitely deals more with AR, which is augmented reality. Got a PS5, nice. So what this is I think one of the mistakes that unfortunately even some of the tech media are making is that they're comparing this to an Oculus or a PlayStation VR, which I have. But it's not that. So VR is meant to be more like it's meant to stuff what you watch. It puts you into the experience a bit, but AR and the Vision Pro, for instance, what this is more of a tool. Or what this eventually is once it gets smaller and a little bit cheaper, and this is going to be my prediction right here. This is your future. Instead of your iPhone, this is the future of what you're going to have, whether it be Samsung Galaxy or you're an iPhone person or Android person. This is where it's going, because basically, this is going to take the place of your of that type of stuff. It's not VR. I think the closest thing in comparison to what this is would be an XR2, and it's actually a cheaper version of what it is. So it's not like an Oculus Rift. If you're just looking for a VR experience, then Oculus, that type of thing, that you get it way cheaper. Yes, Bob Iger came out. Disney Plus is going to be part of this, and this is what I think is going to be the start of the Apple Disney connection. And I mean this. I'm going to say this right now: the genesis of Apple and Disney. I think it's going to go way farther than this. But because they're friends, like Bob Iger and is and the leader of Tim, right? The leader of Disney, and leader of Apple, they're good friends. But this is the future when it comes to stuff like this. I'm a content creator. I make videos, I edit, I write and stuff. So the idea to be able to use like my iMovie or to edit and do videos on in something like this to would be is amazing. And it's something that I thought it was a futuristic, it was Minority Report, right? But it's now, it's here. And the I think that we're going to see other companies do it, and I'm telling you, right, this is the start of it. This is just the start, not the stop point. This is the start point, much in the way the iPhone was the start point when it happened. Well, yeah, you're going to get to watch the like films, TV shows coming out. Like you may see like Star Wars or Marvel shows or certain films come out, and much like like with augmented reality, they may have certain things you can pull up. If you've ever watched Amazon Prime, and I'm sure you have, then you'll notice that one of the neat things that Amazon has is a thing called X-ray. So you can, if you watch it on a computer, for instance, you can put your cursor on the screen, use it at any time, and it'll show up like some of the cast that's on the screen, sometimes trivia facts, like that type of thing. But now take that to into another into going a bit farther. Let's say you're watching, I don't know, Andor, like or Mandalorian or something like that, and you're a big Star Wars fan. And all of a sudden, you can like dive into like bring up little things, bring up little do facts or maybe like interactive like material things you can read. It could be like for younger kids. It could be like there could be games for like uh, a way to bring up like source material to look at certain things to just dive into it a bit deeper. So like think about that with but on a larger level, on a much larger scale. The cost of this, by the way, guys, is $34.99. The cost of an XR2 is around $8,000. And this is doing all the same stuff and more of an XR2 because it's what we're looking at here is spatial computing, as it says, right? Spatial computer. So spatial computing. So that's not VR. Spatial computing is basically is putting your apps, your computer in front of you, and there's still things that work out. The battery life, like just on battery alone, is around 2 hours long. So it's going to be plugged in. But of course you can get more batteries, but no, there's going to be a cost to stuff like that. And the price at even at $34.99, which I think is, as a techier person, knowing what's going into this is actually not expensive. But it's expensive for a lot of average consumers. The good thing about it is that it has Apple's name on it, and people that are Apple fans will buy this because it's Apple. That may have waited on it if it was like just somebody that came in and did it, like Avatar, for instance. So Avatar, imagine George having this headset on, right? Because in this here, you can watch Avatar in 3D with the headset on, with a 180-degree screen, 180 screen, like a screen wrapping around you, like in an IMAX theater. Exactly, too. Limited mobility, wheelchairs, it's amazing for that. Now, picture this, George. Picture this ending. So you're watching Avatar or any of your favorite 3D film. This is going to give you the best 3D that you've ever seen, bar none across the board, because now it's not stuck onto a TV screen. This is your screen, and you can make your screen wider. You got the headset on. You can take a screen. You can make the screen really wide. You can have the IMAX size screen in your living room. No longer are you stuck with, okay, I've only got enough space for a 55-inch TV. I've only got enough space for for a 32-inch television set. No, the headset gives you space. You got a 120-inch screen in front of you, watching Avatar in 3D, in real immersive 3D. And the thing is that when you see shows like this, when you see showcases like this, oftentimes there's but, ifs, and ands. But from all the stuff that and there's about right there, but from all the people that I've checked out, from all the people that have actually gotten their hands on this and actually have seen it and used it, all the stuff that it claims that it can do, it can already do. It's not like, oh, we're going to be able to do this, or when an update comes down the road, we're going to be able to do this. So all this stuff is stuff that it can already do. So it also brings to the point, okay, you mentioned like if you bought like a say you bought a 55 or 65-inch TV set, right? It's going to cost you what, like $2,000, somewhere around there for a really good one. Yeah, so you wouldn't need a three, just the headset. Yeah, because here's the thing, because you're streaming right off of Disney Plus, like it's coming right off the. Will it work with the existing? Not yet. That's the thing. We don't know yet. Like if that, it's all going to depend. Like on when it comes to stuff like that, like any like this, it's going to work with a lot of the streaming services. It's gonna work out of the gate with Disney, and Disney has, of course, all the if you're talking about like some of the 3D films, like the Marvel films, like Avatar for stuff like that, you can bet Disney's already been putting IMAX out there. You can bet the 3D stuff's going to be out there as well. Well, working Blu-rays, I can see that coming down the road. I can't see that in the first iteration. What you're going to have here is something that can not only like stream films and show films, like you could imagine being on a plane, and there's all this noise around you on a plane, right? But you're on a plane, you've got the headset on, you're watching a movie, gigantic screen film. Will this make Blu-rays and physical media redundant? That's a good question, Video Store Review. So let's actually dive into that. I think that the French Connection has pretty much ensured that that's not going to be the case. Is it going to help when it comes to streaming? It very much will. What's going to help more for, though, is as this gets cheaper, how is this going to affect theaters? Or how is it going to affect sales of regular TV sets? Will this eventually replace an iPhone or an iPad? Or those become more niche? All things that are, that are important to look at. So I want to see if I can find a picture here to give you an idea. And the neat thing is here, so if you've ever had a VR headset, then like you put it on, you can't see anything inside, right? You can't see anything else. Like you're in that world. With the Vision Pro, you can literally see everything that's around you. Here's a picture right here, something similar. So there you are. So you can see he's got like 3 screens up. So this is what he's seeing. And you can see he's seeing his house around him. If somebody comes by, walks by you, you can actually adjust it. So basically you'll see them. You wonder if it's all in one, if you don't need anything else. That was a big question my better half said. I guess this plugs into your iPhone, right? To do it. No, it is all in one. So that's part of the reason for the cost. Everything is within the headset itself. It's using, if you wonder about like what's the sound gonna be like, because that sound of VR sound isn't always quite there. And this is the insane genius thing that I'm gonna mention right now. I think it's very important to mention this. It's all inside. But a lot of the stuff that they're using, a lot of the tech that's being used for this here, it's been being made by Apple for a long time and other people. See, AirPods, still some of the best, best device out there for listening to music. So the VR, not VR, it's not a VR headset. The Vision Pro has spatial audio. So picture this, you're watching this. So here you go, George. You watched Avatar the other night. So you're watching it, you got the headset on. You're seeing Avatar in 3D, 120-inch screen, bam, right in front of your face. But you're not only seeing it like that, you're not only seeing it in theater, but you're getting a theater audio experience because it's going to be using spatial audio in the same way that an AirPod would use spatial audio, the same way Dolby Atmos kind of tracks things. It tracks things by the room that you're in. So you're not getting just an optimized performance when it comes to the picture. By the way, just in case you wanted to know, each single eye is over 4K resolution. And but you'll be able to hear it that way as well. See the beginnings of a horror movie. A user starts seeing an unknown figure in the house. Information starts disappearing. What creepy is so you can do like Zoom calls and all this stuff on here, right? Video Store. So, but it's you're kind of wondering, how does this work? Because basically you got a headset on. So is everybody going to look at each other and see headsets? But when you see them talking, you can see themselves, right? They can see themselves. So what it does is it scans your face and makes a pretty uncanny valley type realistic version of you that speaks in the in like a FaceTime call. So that's that's the whole like that's the crux of it. It's all within itself, and it's going to be like a little heavy at first. Won't be as heavy as like a PlayStation VR or headset or anything like that because the battery's been taken out and put onto the side. But it'll still it's going to this gets this will evolve. But with that being said, am I going to be somebody that goes out to buy like a first generation version of this? If I can afford it, yes, this is something that I would use a lot. I work on computer a lot. I do a lot of things, whether I'm like watching videos or I'm watching films, and space is limited. Um, this is something that would come in extremely handy for me. And although you joke, Indy, about the adult titles, you're not wrong. You can pretty much track any type of physical media and like advances when it comes to technology to the adult industry. Um, I kid you not. Look at the way VHS tapes. So look at from DVD to Blu-ray and to like streaming on computers now, and just track that with the way like adult media was done. Yeah, yeah, no, it's so that'll be. And that's the thing. Some people like worry about isolationism. My better half was talking to her dad, and he said, I worry that we're getting to a point in society where we're getting more and more isolated from each other. And anybody that's ever been to like a party or anything like that, where people have had their phones out, know exactly what he's talking about. But I'm hoping that this, although it may seem isolationist to us who are a bit older, to a younger generation, this is going to be much in a way like for a younger generation, dating became like an online thing, and like hanging out over Xbox Live became a thing. And we're like, what, how do you do? Aren't you supposed to do like playing your video games all together in one room? Um, like they adjusted, they got it. Like this is just the next step to that. And where did they live? It's never getting put glasses on. And the thing is too, and here's another thing. Like I'm glad you mentioned glasses too, because as you know, I wear glasses. So this also it works with they actually work with a company, so that if you wear glasses, that you can actually get lenses, so that you can wear these here, and you can get like the lenses we get same as you do for your glasses for this here, so that you're not somebody that has to miss out. So this works if you have glasses, if you don't have glasses. You see things that are around you. All the technology is within the headset itself. You're not buying extra stuff to get it out there. You don't need an Apple computer or an iPad or an iPhone to have this. It's a one and done device, and I'm sure there's things that they can do to make money off it afterwards. There'll be apps that'll be there done for it. There'll be I'm sure they'll do different like branded and colored and company like head like wraparounds for the back. You see like there I'm sure we're going to see like Xbox and PlayStation in different colors, and maybe like FIFA company like FIFA flags, whatever, that type of stuff on those eventually. Branding just seems to be a given, depending on the way Apple does it. So yeah, you're gonna like it is Minority Report, my friends. It is basically the ability to like look out there and like put on a headset and set, like you saw Tom Cruise do a Minority Report. Just like there's a virtual keyboard. You can get a Magic Keyboard if you want to, but there's also a virtual keyboard. You can use Siri. You can go on the computer. You can watch movies. You can listen to music. You can do like your Google Doc work. You can eventually you'll be able to like film and edit. I'm sure like I know that the latest Mac Studio does like 22 straight, like you can do 22 separate streams of 8K resolution editing. So that's actually pretty cool. For us editing geeks here, they'll understand what that means. For anybody else, doesn't matter. But either way, I think this is for me. I'm going to call it now. This is the future. Um, will I have this? More than likely, yes. It's I'm the I'm its target market. I'm waiting for the update that this works for with iMovie, that this works for stuff, and I don't. It's not something where I think that it'll maybe. It's something that I think is going to be a certainty, and I am fairly certain. And I've seen the like they've shown the Apple kits and stuff like that for developing the dev kits. That it's already become super easy and intuitive to actually work with this as well. I think the biggest selling point for something like this is, unlike a VR set, gleaming, is that it's not something that's just passively immersive. It's active. So so the selling point for some people, gleaming will be the fact that they may be in a smaller area and they can watch movies and TV and listen to music and watch YouTube and all that type of stuff there on a big 120 screen with 3D, with the best 3D that's out there. Yes, there's gaming options. If you've got a PlayStation 5, for instance, controller, it will work with this. So imagine this. Also, and I'm sure this is not by accident, Hideo Kojima, uh, creator of Metal Gear Solid, and the guy that did Death Stranding, announced that Death Stranding Director's Cut is coming to Apple. And if anybody has known the problems that Apple had initially with gaming going up against PC, you're going to know exactly how big a deal that is. This is coming in early 2024. So we're not looking at something that's debuting Christmas of next year. We're looking at something that's debuting early 2024, which I think is probably the second most mind-blowing thing. It'll start out with over 100 games on Apple Games. I'm sure we're going to get things like Death Stranding, stuff like that there. I would assume. No. Here's the thing. With what they've also did a really big part of the presentation. You can watch Actually Video Store that talks about the fact that when it comes to this, when it comes to what you're looking at and your information and all that type of stuff, that there's a safeguard that's put in there that even Apple won't be able to collect your data. Your data is with your own headset. So much in the same way that Apple started doing like the incognito, the private window modes before other people did it, and eventually you could DuckDuckGo and places like that would do like the private browsing. Uh, there's going to be aspects of that there, and whether is there a possibility, eventually that there's going to be a hacker that can crack this stuff and all this type of thing. I'm sure there is, but the fact that it's the way that's done, I think they've gone about this the right way. But I'm sure like stuff will get sold corporately eventually somewhere down the road. Somewhere in that Apple agreement, man. But I eventually see this as a must. Not as a maybe, not as a possibility, but I see this as the future. Yeah. Are you taking like Terminator, man? Exactly. It's amazing for filmmakers, considering content a whole new way. For filmmakers, for people that are doing TV shows, for game. Imagine, like for instance, here's Blizzard Entertainment, been infamous for not putting Diablo 4 on, for which is mind blowing actually, onto the Mac. Now, when they announced this, they also announced the new M2 chips and the R1 chip as well, and that has enabled like a great advancement in what you can do gaming wise on a Mac computer, which has always been the thing. Like a lot of people turn to PC instead of a Mac, for instance, instead of Mac because of gaming, because they're gamers, because they want to game. But Macintosh has become more and more inclusive when it comes to game and gets stuff out there. But that's the thing. It's not like if you compare it to a VR headset like gleaming, yeah, it's pricey compared to a VR headset. When you compare it to what its most reasonable competitor might be, which is an XR2, it's a third of the cost. I'm pretty sure. Like, well, let's just say so. The only thing comparable, like technology wise, I'm sorry, I'm such a geek for this stuff. Uh, it's XR. So this is an XR2. So the latest XR cost is around, again, $8,000 or $9,000. And as you can see, not quite as sexy looking. And you're going to notice something when you look at this headset is that although there's virtual reality aspects that are used here, they have gone out of their way to not say, to like specifically not label this as VR. Anyway, I just wanted to like put that out there. I thought it was something that'd be neat to mention on the channel. Oh, definitely. See, I don't think so. That's because, like, right now, people like kind of blow back on things like the same way you can see like a superhero movie or video store. Imagine something like like a Scorsese film. Imagine a Godfather-esque type film. Once Upon a Time in America, something along that lines. With this type here, so it doesn't have to be like a glossy Indiana Jones or Star Wars or superhero movies. I'm sure those will have their base appeal, but imagine like a kind of more of a film like an Indiana Jones film or Russell McKay type film, or kind of someone like a Cronenberg. Imagine Crash, or a smaller, like more personal film like Adam McGuire's The Sweet Hereafter, or Exotica, and how that can play out on something like this, which is one of the reasons I can. And you get along to the point of like basically saying, "Oh, how does this change dating?" Because that's the thing. And for people that work in like in the business industry, people that do a lot of like presentations, people that teach, for instance, Indy, people that teach, and all of a sudden you're able to teach classes and do seminars in your own home. Like the potential is kind of like is more limited. It's like as a YouTuber, I know all about like the algorithm of like of that, but I also know man's potential to navigate as a YouTuber. There's a reason Patreon exists. Um, there's a reason that when it comes time for us, a vinegar synonym company to do a sale for the year, or when it comes February, more people show up on my Patreon. Why is that? Well, because then I'm talking about things that I cannot talk about on here, and I don't think we're going to. It'll be interesting to see how things go, but I don't think we're going to have to worry as much because about it's always going to be corporatization of things, but I don't think we're going to get like limitations in the way that you think we are. I think if anything else, this is a way to stretch the limitations that are there. And what I'm hoping for, what I'm really hoping for, guys, and I'm going to say this, is that this enables somebody to finally do an option that can outdo YouTube. Oh, let me know what you think. French Connection, George. You have a great day, man. Sorry for bored with the tech talk. His teacher's pretty big on YouTube, teaches gaming programming. But that, with that being said, that is what I wanted to say with that. I thought it was something that was worth talking about and worth kind of discussing and diving into. For those that know my channel, they know that, I'll come up here on the screen for a second so I can actually see you guys, that I'm very much a techie type person. And I had to be I was dragged kicking and screaming into like the whole computer type thing. I was the guy that early on, like, this internet thing, is this going to work? I kid you not, that was like that. But I just, this was something that I had an aptitude for. And it's the future, my friends. It is crazy. It is the crazy future. All right. But I'm not ready to go yet. I'm not ready to let you guys go quite yet. I wanted to show you guys a couple things, and wanted to do that while we're still here. We talked about like censorship. We talked about collecting. We talked about curating. You saw me get dangerous again. We did tech talk. I'm going to open up the floor right now at this point for anybody else. Like, if they have any questions or anything that they want to ask while I'm here, before we close it up for the day. And any thoughts, any questions, anything you want to see in the background? Are there titles that you're wondering about? You like my amazing Star Blazer set? That's the Quest for Iskandar series right there. So I love Star Blazers, actually. There's a new Gotsman set coming out, which I really want. I got this like in the weirdest way. I'll explain this to you guys now. Don't you just love the kind of style of animation that they did done? Everybody gets so quiet. Nobody has questions at all. Nobody wants to say anything. All right, then we can probably end it here. So see, that's the thing. I love me some Star Blazers. I got the complete series here for Ram and a Half, which I utterly adore. Really funny show, by the way. So next time we'll dive a bit more into the animation station as well. Manuel said ships before you get home. Oh, that'll be amazing. Oh, dude. I'll be expecting you on here telling me about that, because you're gonna have it set long before I do. That's gonna be an amazing set. What's life like living in Morocco so far? That's a nice question, actually. There's been things that have been different. I like the heat, getting used to. That takes time. It's food's fantastic. Glovo is basically an app where you can order anything. And let's say, like, I want to order food from McDonald's or like a local restaurant, and I want to order some groceries. You do that there, right? I want to order some ice for my drinks. This is cola, by the way. You do that there. I miss like a place like Walmart and shopping, like little things like that. I miss sour cream. You can't get sour cream here. Not at all. Like, sour cream. Seems simple, right? Sour cream. Like a lot of cereals, they like chocolate here, so a lot of chocolatey cereals. But overall, I'm enjoying it. Like, it's taking the hardest thing for me is getting used to the language. Oh, hey, baby. Is getting used to the language. Because I speak English and I'm still learning French, and there's two like primarily language here in like Marrakesh. It is like French and Darja, and more recently French was kind of the primarily secondary language, and so most people speak French here. But recently, Morocco has come upon like having English as its second language, so that is being put into place now. But for me, it makes it a little bit harder to find certain things and to see certain certain things I got to check on if I'm going to go to a theater. Is the movie going to be in English? If I'm out with my better half and with her friends and stuff, not everybody speaks English. So, she has to translate sometimes. Um, so that's been the thing there. Food has been pretty fantastic. Tagines, really love. Really, really good, like really good pizza. That surprised me. Like really good pizza. I'm not gonna lie, I didn't expect that. And the cat's over there. Wonderful kitty cats, right? I got 4 cats. So yeah, there's certain foods like right now. I love the potato chips that are here, but I miss some of the Lay's flavors. Like India, I miss my Lay's dill pickle. I miss my Lay's ketchup chips. There's like ketchup Pringles, not same. Um, they don't have as good of. They got like pretty good when it comes to Cheetos as it comes to the cheese balls. It's fairly big, but I've got thousands of films like video store that I don't have here. Um, so this is our primary place. This is the condo, and it's 2 levels. So overall, what I can show. Hold on a second. For the people that stayed, it did not abandon me in my time of need. Um, so this is behind me. So this is there. So I'm going to show you, do something. Okay. So it is a fairly big apartment. One of the amazing things is that I think I have actually long time. If someone think, but a long time ago. Yeah, and the last place I saw that might have been on Tubi as well. I don't think I've ever seen like a good physical release of that. You got beer flavor lace. We have some cool. There's this chip that came out recently. It was limited Pringles. It was really good. Hey, hey, Goose. I'm gonna try and see if I come up. Nope, he's gone. Hello. I was trying to get one of my cats up, but I don't want to freak her out. We talked about a lot of stuff here tonight, Planet Mondo. I'm still getting on jam, by the way. Same with you, Indy. Hey. I want to see Ollie. Do you mind coming up? Let's see. Let's see if I can get you for a second. Come on. Here we go. Here's Ollie. Here you go. Okay. Okay. You gonna write a story? We have 4 cats here now. No, I'm not gonna lie. We go out every night to feed cats on the street. I would have more if I could. I try to put time. Well, now that this became my primary source of income, it's become a bit more hectic. So all of a sudden, I will be visiting this Canada in around September this year. I'll think hopefully, wildfires happening again. I should film every day at 3 p.m. That's actually a good idea. To set it up like that. Hey, Goose. You're a tiny little one. Love you. But basically, yeah, I do try to set time to watch TV, at least watch a film, and read. I'm reading a lot more than I did before, and I'll tend to be like a few thousand pages. Yes, I will. Hopefully, we're looking towards going to a few different places in the next year. Those are going to be UK, Paris, and hopefully Spain. Those are the 3 main places that we're looking to go within the next year. So you could very easily see me in London, or in Paris, or in Spain. You hear me? Oh, we have neighbors. So, and I'm sure they hear me in the background too. So I found myself reading a lot more recently, like books, omnibuses. I listen to a lot of podcasts. I watch a lot of films, and usually for films, podcasts, YouTube, um, I'm usually working on my Patreon channel. So I'll be writing stuff up, editing stuff up. So I put up 3 videos in one day on Patreon, and during the sale, like things slowed down a bit. But there's a couple. But now that the sales are over, it lets me kind of breathe a bit and actually work more on my Patreon channel. So that's there's a lot more stuff coming out there. So I got my life in '90s horror coming out, and every time that I'm doing these here new videos, I've been trying to add on to them. So I added something new into the '90s one, which made it take longer. But I've been trying to make better videos as well. I've been like studying up on my editing as well. So I don't sleep a lot. That's going to be the other like aspect of it. I basically I'm spending a lot of time, so I could be up like 6:30, 7 o'clock in the morning, whether I'll be shooting video sometimes, like where the time is differences there. Um, I'll be I'll shoot videos that'll be later in the night. Um, I got cats. Uh, I'm working on YouTube on a full time basis, so I'm always working. I, I could be out somewhere like getting groceries or making like or just walking around. And then I'll get an idea for a video and I'll like write it down here and I'll start working on it. Do horror films seem as scary when watching them outside of a Western surround? Does Halloween seem different in the desert? I'm not sure. Like that's a good question to ask for some other people. So I'm doing a series on my channel, and I've been waiting to get like the set done for it. Having the money to do the set for it, of where I'm going to be reviewing all my films, every film in my collection. Just think about that. But one of the neat things about that is that there's a fly there. Kit. Is that I'll be having guests on to talk about certain films. So, for me, your question gives me an idea to watch a film like a horror film, like Halloween or Strangers or Friday 13th or something similar to that, something that like hits on a visceral level for on a North American audience, and find one of my friends here or one of my better half's friends that hasn't seen it and see how it hits them. So that would actually make a good idea for one of the video reviews. So thank you for that. The only time that I've ever seen like a change in my viewing is when I lived in Bollindry in just outside North Sydney, where it was outside of it was outside of the town, and I was living in an isolated area. So I couldn't watch movies like The Strangers or Them or Eels, anything like that, because it would hit too close to home, and that was a bit rougher. I love Strangers, but it still scares me because I've been in an area where that situation is very much a viable thing. But it brought on like other things for me. For instance, there is a film on Shutter. And I want to get the name of it. Hold on a second here, guys. It's not that one. Let's see if I can find it, because I really want to mention this to you. Because it meant a lot to me. And I talked about it on my review of on my review of the awards. Okay, I can't find it right now. Anyway, so there is Watcher. There is a movie called Watcher on Shutter, and this will be an answer to your question, Video Store. And Watcher is about a girl that moves with her husband to his country. He speaks the language, she doesn't. She notices somebody watching her, and she kind of watches back from like a different building. And she quickly gets the feeling that there's something inherently ominous about him. But because she is unable, oh, you gotta watch it, Andy, you really do. And this will hit you too, I think, Andy. Because she doesn't get the language, because she's still struggling with that, because she doesn't understand everything, um, it makes the paranoia seep in even more. Yeah, was she just being paranoid because she's been put in a situation where she's at a big disadvantage, or is there more to it? Well, you have to watch the film to find out. It's a horror movie, so you can probably guess. Um, but it's a film that I think if I would have watched it 2 years ago, it would have been okay. That's an interesting film. I enjoy it. But watching it now, like living in a country where I don't speak the language, it hit. It really hit. Like I could understand a lot of the frustrations that she had, a lot of the things that she went to, the like in the little scenes, like at a dinner party, things where things are lost in translation. Aspects of my life are definitely things that are lost in translation. That's a fantastic question, by the way. If that would help me some with the next Marrakesh Film Festival, well, my sister-in-law and her husband does. I I'm still a little young into being in Marrakesh for that. I would love to. Maybe eventually. I kind of enjoy going to it, and because my sister-in-law is there, I do get like to I've gotten in and gotten some pretty really good seats. Um, when it comes to the oh yeah, that's one of the big things about the Watcher End is the foreign aspect of it. You'll really enjoy it. I want to watch Influencer. Here, Influencer is really good, which is totally off topic. Um, but right now, eventually, I would like to. But it's kind of neat, just like being able to like hear and not without my daughter and talk with people and talk to people and just like hear like conversations going on in the background. I was able to so when we had our commitment ceremony here in Morocco years ago. There was a famous Moroccan film director that was there because he was a friend of my better half's one of her uncles, and his wife is a film director now too. And so her film was being lauded at the film festival, and it was a drama about this guy and this girl and this other guy and kind of a love triangle between them, which looked to be like really good and something very different. I didn't expect like that in Morocco, but it was definitely intriguing. And the cast was there. I got to meet the cast. I got to meet the director. I'd already met her husband, so it was nice to meet her too. Um, there are certain people it just amazes me. And as things, this was the first time it's been back since the whole, everything had been shut down. So it was big, but it wasn't as big as it normally is. Because normally when it comes to the Marrakesh Film Festivals, there's after parties and stuff like that you can go to if you know where to go and all that type of stuff. So interact with people. Paul Schrader was here. So yeah, I'm very excited about the next film festival, and I'm still I liked Marlowe. I'll go on that hill. Nobody liked Marlowe but me. I still liked it. Did it? Did the fact that I saw it with the lead actress and director was that influential in my viewing of it? Probably was, but I just hadn't seen a noir in a long time, and like seeing was was a good idea. I get so much hate for that, by the way. Out of all the videos that I've done, my Marlowe review, which was done 3 months before the movie came out, and for anybody else that's seen it, um, still after the movie came out, like live, like I got so much hate for that. But there you go. Hopefully that was a great question, by the way. Eventually, yes. Hopefully, I hope to someday do something with the film festival. I would like to do something with film in general. And Influencer is probably my next watch when it comes to the Shutter films. I got to get Shutter back, and we don't have it right now. But there we go, my friends. At 2 hours and 20 minutes, I think we've done a pretty good kind of live one. If you like this style of video, it's a bit more free flow. Then I can do more like this. Let me know if you. It's not as I will not gonna lie to you. It's not New Jordan's best. Like it's definitely not New Jordan's best. It is a little bit like see, it's a little bit more low rent, a little bit cheaper, but I like the way that I like the way that it's done. But all the criticisms that I've seen about it, I agree with, but I enjoyed it anyway. Um, so don't go in expecting like New Jordan in top form, but enjoy it for what it is the way I say to put it. You do like the free flow? Thank you so much. Thanks for the feedback because I desperately need that. One thing I wish I'd get more back is feedback on some stuff. Um, we'll talk more about this. If you guys like the tech talk, let me know on that as well. We'll do more of that. If you're liking the video game talk or like the comic book talk, you want some focuses, some spotlights, some of that stuff, I can do that as well. But right now, all I'm going to do is melt. My name is Aaron. This is the Call to Cinema. Like, share, subscribe, do all that jazz. You want to donate, it's fantastic, wonderful. If you want a super chat or super sticker, that's amazing. If you want to just come in, hit the like button, share the video, and just enjoy yourself too, do that. Just as long as you're here and you have fun. My name is Aaron. I'll see you soon right here in the Cult of Cinema.